Welcome to another exciting episode of Howard's Opinion. I'm your host, Howard, and I'm thrilled to have you joining me today. We've got a jam-packed show lined up for you, filled with in-depth analysis, thought-provoking discussions, and maybe even a few surprises along the way. To kick things off, let's dive into the world of college football. The Texas A&M Aggies are gearing up to take on Utah State this weekend, and I've been digging through some fascinating insights from their previous game against UTSA. It seems that the new wide receivers for the Aggies were a pleasant surprise, blowing away expectations with their impressive performance. On the other hand, the team still struggled with run defense, which is an area they'll need to work on if they want to come out on top against tougher opponents. One of the most interesting aspects of the game was a 6-series stretch in the second half, where UTSA's offense was completely shut down by the Aggies. I mean, we're talking about a team that couldn't even manage to get a single first down, except for one penalty. Meanwhile, the Aggie offense was marching up and down the field with ease. If they can replicate that level of dominance for an entire game, watch out. This team could be a force to be reckoned with. I also came across some interesting rankings from On3, which assigned me an All-American title. I'm not sure about that, but I do appreciate the recognition. Perhaps a more unique title would be in order, like Ruler of All He Surveys or simply El Jefe. We'll be exploring more of these topics and discussing the upcoming game against Utah State in greater detail throughout the show. And, of course, we'll be sharing our thoughts on other sports news and stories that caught our attention. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some lively discussions and debates. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion, ladies and gentlemen. This is Howard Closewell speaking, and we're diving into the world of baseball for our middle segment today. The drama of athletic competition is not just about the wins and losses, but also about the trials and tribulations that athletes face on and off the field. We've got a story that's making waves in the MLB, as the Kansas City Royals have placed right-hander Seth Lugo on the 15-day injured list due to a lower back strain. Now, this is not just a minor setback for Lugo, but it also has significant implications for the Royals' rotation. Tell it like it is, folks. When you're dealing with a lower back strain, it's not something that you can just shrug off and expect to perform at your best. The move is retroactive to Monday, which means Lugo will be out of commission for at least 15 days. And let me tell you, in the world of baseball, 15 days can feel like an eternity. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a lower back strain. But let me tell you, this is a significant blow to the Royals' chances of making a push in the playoff race. Lugo was scheduled to start Thursday night against the Los Angeles Angels, and his absence will undoubtedly be felt. In my humble opinion, the Royals are taking the right approach by putting Lugo on the IL. You can't rush back from an injury like this, especially when it comes to something as critical as a pitcher's back. The last thing you want is for Lugo to come back too soon and risk exacerbating the injury. The drama of athletic competition is not just about the athletes themselves, but also about the teams and the organizations that support them. And in this case, the Royals are making a smart decision by prioritizing Lugo's health and well-being. We'll be keeping an eye on this story as it develops, folks. In the meantime, let's take a look at some other news from around the sports world. The NFL season is just around the corner, and we've got some intriguing matchups to look forward to. And in the world of golf, the 50th Walker Cup is set to get underway. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Howard's Opinion. We'll be discussing the latest developments in the world of soccer, including Brazil's dominant win over Chile. That's all coming up next, so don't go anywhere. This is Howard Closewell speaking, and we'll be back with more sports news and analysis after this break. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion, folks. We're wrapping up today's show with a dive into the world of soccer, specifically the U.S. men's national team. I know. Not everyone's cup of tea, but bear with me here. As we approach the 2026 FIFA World Cup, there are some interesting developments in the team's dynamics. Now, I've been reading this piece by Stu Holden, a former midfielder for the USMNT and current Fox Sports analyst, and he raises some excellent points about the team's current state. With players like Weston McKennie, Johnny Cardoso, and Yunus Musa not in camp, there are opportunities for others to step up and make their mark. One of the key takeaways from Holden's article is the emergence of Matt Freese as a potential starter in goal. His performance in the Gold Cup was impressive, especially those 3 penalty saves against Costa Rica. It's got me wondering if he might just be the one to take over between the posts for the USMNT. Another interesting aspect is the midfield conundrum. With Tyler Adams looking to continue in his role but no clear partner in sight, it'll be fascinating to see how Coach Pochettino decides to line up his team. Will we see a combination of holding midfielders or a more attacking-minded approach? And then there's Christian Pulisic, the star player who always seems to be under scrutiny. His relationship with the fans has been a bit tense since the summer, but he's still the one who can make all the difference for this team. As we look ahead to the World Cup, it's clear that there are still many questions surrounding the USMNT. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride. With new players emerging and old favorites looking to prove themselves, the next few months will be crucial in shaping the team's future. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.